YoonA's eyes well up as Junho links arms with Go-eun at the Blue Dragon Awards 2025. Hello everyone. A warm greeting from BSAO, Asian Stars Spotlight. We're thrilled to have you here. If you enjoy our coverage of the moments that make fans swoon, laugh and gasp, please show some love to our YouTube channel and support the work we do. Now, grab a comfy seat and a calming cup of tea. Tonight's headline comes with a little heartache, a lot of charm, and just enough cheeky romance to require fan tissues. The Blue Dragon Awards 2025 was supposed to be all glitter, formal bows, and solemn speeches. And it was mostly. But in the delicate theater of celebrity interactions, the smallest gestures turn into whole mini-dramas. And what the cameras caught between one star on stage and another star in the audience gave us the kind of short film fans live for. Picture it. The grand stage lights bathing the auditorium in cinematic blue, and Junho poised, charming, with that sort of smile that looks like it's been approved by mood board committees everywhere, stepping forward to present the Best Actress award. He offers an arm to the award recipient, Go-eun, in the most gentlemanly old Hollywood way. The move is simple, the effect is not. From our vantage point, there's a prime seat reaction just a few rows back. A woman watching with the kind of attention the gods reserve for season finales. It's YoonA. And in sequence, the cameras gifted us a reaction reel that reads like a rom-com compressed into 30 seconds. Surprise, a small adjust of a mouth, a smile that recalibrates into something softer, blinking that almost betrays moisture in the eyes, and then, the possible eye contact that makes hearts jump. First the short and obvious. Yes, fans noticed. YoonA's face flickered in a way that said, "Ha, that's new," then softened into an almost rehearsed smile as if she was saying to herself, "All right, carry on, be cool." But cool people are allowed to be moved. And movement is what made that moment memorable. Her lower lip twitched with a sweetness that reads like embarrassed pride. The eyes did the rest. Blinking slowly, like someone trying not to let the tide rise, to keep composure while secretly savoring the scene. There's romance in small things. The camera drew in for a close-up of the audience-side reaction, an intimate lens on someone watching someone they care about represent with grace. That close-up revealed micro-expressions. A tiny widening of the eyes, a softening of the cheeks, a blink that suggested the welling of tears. Not theatrical sobs or melodrama, just the kind of moisture that shows up when pride and a twinge of jealousy shake hands. It's human, and therefore quietly thrilling. Let us be poetic for a moment without overdoing it. The scene was a choreography of two parallel worlds. One figure on stage, delivering the formal duty of handing over a trophy. Another figure below, witness to that same duty through the lens of affection. The audience becomes a proscenium arch between them. And in that split, there's a glance or two that feels like a cross-stage whisper. Our coverage caught a fraction of it. A beat where their eyes might have met, that deliciously ambiguous microsecond where public and private flirt with one another. Now for the playful part. Fans have always adored the unofficial drama of industry crossovers, and when the camera serves up what looks like an "oh, did you see that?" face, the internet moves faster than the ceremony's scheduled nap time. Memes will be made. Edits will be set to piano. Fan accounts will rewatch the blink 1,000 times in slow motion, because that blink might contain the entire tonal palette of a K-drama confession scene condensed into a real-life twitch. But let's not mistake romantic whimsy for scandal. This was not a soap opera rupture. It was an intimate human reaction witnessed under bright lights. YoonA's expressions, mild surprise, a recalibrated smile, the hint of tearful pride, paint the picture of someone who is moved by her partner's spotlight moment, perhaps colored by a flash of harmless jealousy. It's the domestic sitcom moment transplanted into a star-studded award show. She sees him flourish, and her feelings do a neat little somersault. And Junho, the man on stage, whether aware of the camera's gaze or merely present in his charm, looks out at the crowd with a smile that's more than ceremony. There's a warmth in the way his eyes travel, a soft focused grin that seems to search, briefly, for familiar faces among the audience. It's the kind of smile that says, "Isn't this wonderful?" Simultaneously proud and mischievous. If he did look towards where she was sitting and threw her that small smile, the exchange becomes a secret spoken aloud in the language of looks. Despite the tiny flicker of emotion caught on camera, what shines through more than anything is the steady and affectionate connection between YoonA and Junho. Their bond has always carried a balance of playfulness and mutual respect, the kind where a small jealous twitch becomes something endearing rather than dramatic. Fans who have followed their interactions for years know that beneath every teasing glance and every warm smile is a foundation of trust that makes moments like the Blue Dragon Awards feel less like tension and more like tenderness peeking through the spotlight. And even in that brief instant when YoonA's eyes seemed to glisten under the auditorium lights, the undertone wasn't distress but pride. Junho's charm on stage and YoonA's heartfelt reaction in the audience create a portrait of two people who deeply support each other, even when the script of the evening throws in unexpected gestures. If anything, their reactions reflect the kind of subtle emotional harmony that only grows between two people who understand each other well. A quiet reassurance that no matter where the cameras point, their connection remains sincere and beautifully intact. If we stop for a beat and consider the craft of a good celebrity moment, this one has all the right ingredients. A public stage, a quiet audience reaction, micro-expressions that tell stories louder than an MC's jokes, and the tantalizing possibility of eye contact. It's intimate without being invasive, romantic without melodrama, and charming without needing to explain itself. In other words, it's perfect fan content. Let's not forget the practical commentary. Celebrities are under lights and cameras, and what seems like a dramatic reaction is often a blink, a laugh, or a polite gasp. But when two people who are connected happen to be in those positions, tiny gestures become laden with meaning. Our job at YoonA's is to notice those moments with affection and a wink, and to remind fans to enjoy them responsibly. Appreciate the cuteness, resist turning coincidences into conspiracy theories, and keep the commentary kind. In closing, still breathing, still smiling, the Blue Dragon Awards gifted us an understated romance beat, a presenter doing his duty with flair, a recipient receiving with dignity, and a woman in the audience whose soft, blinking eyes said more than a press release ever could. Fans will debate, tease, and reminisce, and we will be right here, with popcorn metaphors at the ready, to chronicle the smiles, the twitches, and the tiny, perfect blushes. Thank you for reading this long-winded love letter to a fleeting moment. Don't forget to support YoonA's Asian Stars Spotlight on YouTube if you enjoy our coverage. We promise to keep spotlighting the small things that make stars shine bigger in our hearts.